amended Chapter 13 Utilities, Article 1302 Utility Policy under Division 2 Water Service Policy, specifically under Section 13.02.038, waiver of charges, adjustment of bill of the River Oaks Code of Ordinance 2020 as adopted and as amended. It's you again, I see.
You're not excited? I know they did this because I thought you'll miss me.
I'm glad you could join us again.
Thank you. I went through 50 different Texas cities trying to compare and see what they do. We're just trying to basically eliminate the good credit part of this, but still add in a couple more rules, add some structure, and make sure that, you know, somebody's not doing this a couple times a year or every single year. Most of these, I mean, I have quite a few out right now that if we door tag it and say you have a leak and we've notified you, and I'll give them a phone call if we leave a door tag, they're still waiting 3 months to get it fixed. So we wouldn't cover things like that when they choose not to fix the problem as soon as possible.
Do you think it's money issue that they're waiting, or why do you think they're waiting?
Some of them just don't believe us that they have a leak. It has been the most common thing that they will fight us on and say, you know, I went out and walked my house and I don't see anything, don't hear anything.
Yeah, but you just gotta look at your gauge to know.
Yes. And we can even send a technician out to meet them, but it's
Well, not everybody still has a gauge where they can pull it up and look at it, yeah.
Yes.
It's got a gauge that spins.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we're just trying to open up opportunity for the people that really need it, whether they've been cut off or not. I mean, we are in after COVID time, and everybody's having a hard time making ends meet.
Yes.
The good credit just wasn't working, because if you have 2 late bills, you're already paying late fees. If you get cut off, you're paying a late fee and $25.
Isn't that standard set by in code anyway?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and...
So they're getting a tag and a phone call.
Yes. With some of the other ones, I mean, I just have it in there that they need to take care of it within a 60-day period. Gives them a little bit of time if they need to do whatever it is they need to do. We are changing it so that, you know, when they give us their plumbing repairs, whatever it is, if they needed a permit, they may not get that leak adjustment. They need to be aware that they need to do it. They're told on the phone when we talk to them. You know, if it needs that, then they need to go ahead and pull a permit before the work's done, or the next business day if it's an emergency leak over the weekend.
But if it's something that doesn't require a permit?
They have to bring the repair bill.
That's it.
But
What would be an example of something that would require a permit and something that wouldn't?
if there's a broken water line, they're most likely going to have to replace that. They'll need a permit for that. Anything
Anything that's over 5 feet in length, they're gonna have to get a permit for.
Okay, but if it's just a crack in the PVC, then that would not require.
No, that's just a repair. But if they had to take that whole section out and put a pipe in, then yes, they have to get permitted by the code.
So I appreciate that you looked at so many of them. I'm curious, did you find many that had that credit policy like we have?
Not one.
I don't think you should do it anyway, I'm just curious.
Yeah, not one.
Okay. That's good to know. The other thing that I wondered about, I know there's like a total exemption from irrigation systems.
Yes.
And issues with that. And to me, like when it said if something's left on accidentally and it's not programmed right, all that made a lot of sense. But I'm just curious if you can tell, like if someone had a broken head so that water was just flowing and then it was repaired, how is that different than, you know, a crack in the line that needed to be repaired?
Most of the cities compared it to just doing routine maintenance to make sure that your sprinkler is working properly. I mean, it's doesn't have to be in there. I mean, we can cover that too. It depends on what you guys want.
Yeah, I don't feel strongly one way or the other, I'm
Okay.
just curious what
Sure.
would be different. If a pipe is broken, whether or not it's in the sprinkler system part or in the regular plumbing part, you know?
Yeah.
It's the same to me.
How much is a permit? Do they have to pull a permit to make repairs?
Minimum permit's $35.
And how long is that permit for? Like,
You can have it for 6 months, and then you can renew it if you need to.
But then, of course, they wouldn't go to file for this policy because they're taking too long.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
So, main thing, can you enforce this stuff? That's the,
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, right now, if they don't have a permit, we're making them get one. We're going back after the plumbers to make sure it gets done either way, whether they get the adjustment or not. Because a lot of them are not applying for permits.
They can also get a homeowner's permit, but if they have to live there, it has to be their residency, but they can get a homeowner's permit, they don't necessarily have to get a plumber.
Yeah.
And how much is that?
Homeowner's permit, same price, $35 is the minimum.
So, one thing I wanted clarification on, your, the summary, or I guess it's the, memo part of it. There's a typo, so I was trying to make sure I understood what you were saying. So it's the third paragraph from the bottom, it's talking about things routine maintenance should take care of, you know, would be city manager discretion, that's where it goes in irrigation. But then it says also vandalism, criminal mischief, leaking fixtures, leaking toilets will only be considered for a leak adjustment. I think you meant to say will not be considered. And the reason I say that is because when I go to the actual policy, it's worded differently.
Yeah. Any of those would be up to Marvin's discretion, if he feels that they need an adjustment. If it's a huge bill from a leaking toilet, some of them just don't have that much that we would need to cover it.
Okay, it's just under the policy itself where you show the blue as a new, I don't see a reference, but it's under number 6, that fourth paragraph. That last line says, consumption in question as a result of vandalism, criminal mischief, or theft are likewise excluded. So it sounded to me like you were saying that those things wouldn't count.
Down there it says, they will be reviewed if an unusual situation occurs. So that would
Are you
leave
talking in your memo, or are you talking about the blue versus black document?
on the blue part, it's the bottom one, the bottom, second from the bottom, adjustments are not normally issued for sprinkler head, leaks, toilet leaks, dripping faucets.
Right, okay.
but on the vandalism, are we gonna require that they have a police report? Okay. You could say that?
No.
Because that might be, in other words, somebody leaves a rent property and just trashes the place and turns all the water on. It'd be nice if it had a factual.
But again, the paragraph earlier in the document says criminal mischief or vandalism are excluded from this policy.
Yeah,
So if that's not what we want, we need to change the wording.
how would that work, Marvin, if somebody like John's example, or you're at work and the neighborhood kid comes over and just turns on your outside faucets and just for the heck of it, you come home and water's running everywhere. It's no fault of mine but I guess we turn it in to the police as an act of vandalism or criminal mischief. I think that you should get some